Yeah, who are you?
Mary Sherlock is my name. I'm a TD in the area as well.
I don't know you, so...
Yeah, I know, but I'm only newly elected, right? Okay, since December. No, wait a second now, right? Okay, so the first thing is, this building has been left derelict for how many years?
Yeah, it should have been for a community centre.
Okay, so the thing is...
There's not for the kids around here. There's no facilities for the iPads meant to go into that building. For you that standing there trying to back us up and you are agreeing with them building. You don't have to say and you agree with them iPad building.
Sorry, we're here just to...
No.
Right, we've come down. I'm down talking to Nick today. I'm here because I want to talk to you.
What about under 20
And I
years?
suppose for me, the first thing is...
20 years, we're past the proclamation.
The first thing is, right, this is a derelict building that should not be empty, right?
No, it shouldn't be. It should be used for the area.
Of course, right, okay.
We've nothing around this area. The children don't have a playground, nothing.
So that is our first thing, right, okay? This building no longer remains empty and is pushed to you.
Gary's got the client argument.
Right, okay. So the second key thing is, right, we've been told by the Department, right, okay, of Justice, that there is nobody going into that centre, right, okay?
They're all bleeding liars.
No, but sorry, right, we have to know what...
No, you you listen to us. They're nothing but poxy liars. It's not your doorstep they're being fucked on, it's ours. Hang on a minute. Well, but we put it outside your door. How would you fucking feel about it?
What I'm coming down to say to you is, right, we've spoken to the Minister, right? He is very clear that it's having left...
Will it never be used as an iPad though? Never.
There's people across the city, right, who are looking to make money, right? They've millions of euros
I'd happily go to you any day of the week. I wasn't allowed to finish with that.
Out of opening some of these centres.
We have been taken, yeah, by the department.
Hold on for 1 second. Have nowhere, absolutely nowhere. This is where the kids play on this road and on Portland Place.
I want you to change that.
We got a park from when they built the apartments. They gave us a football pitch and a playground. The playground was taken over by the canal. The people walking on the canal. The playground was just closed up. That's gone.
So even after the works are finished, that take on
Stop.
Okay, well, we need to change that.
So there's not a thing around here for the kids.
We have that in writing that it's not. We want it in writing in black and white. That's it.
So there's no proposal. And my interest right now is making sure that this city is awash with empty, derelict buildings. And
We can't bring the kids even to the local park.
And what we need to do is make sure that those buildings, right, are being pushed to use for the community, right? And there are people, vulnerable people, who are in this city who need accommodation, right? And therefore, for the grace of God, to go any of us within our own families in terms of somebody becoming homeless or somebody coming to this country with no dignity. So
what about the people lying on O'Connell Street?
That's a phenomenal video, isn't it? It's great to see people waking up. And you see, what's happened right now is the politicians, I'm absolutely sure of it, despise the internet. They hate it. They hate apps like Twitter. They hate the fact that people can send videos like these around to each other and say, look what's going on. And I would say, despise the fact that people have talking points that they can't defend. They can't say anything to people anymore because people are just not interested in what they have to say. We have a very big problem here in this country of a political class, or as I like to call it, a parasite class here in this country. People that probably haven't done a hard day's work in their entire lives, pontificating to you, a person that has done a hard day's work, about what you should be accepting. You see, these people have long forgotten that they are public representatives. They are people that are put there because you've put them there. Not because they want to be there and they are there to tell you what to do. You are there to tell them what to do. They have long forgotten that. And they are now starting to remember this. And you see, what's happened right now is these politicians have become grossly offended by the fact that people would actually call them out on what they are doing. So, you have Marie Sherlock here. And I said it back in November. I said this. And I've repeatedly said it. And other people are saying it now. How did a woman from Cork, with political ties in her family attain a seat in the inner city Dublin constituency. How did that happen? How did she get more votes than Malachy Steenson and Gettr Hutch? Now, whatever your opinion about both of those guys is, the fact remains is they're from the area. And now people in town are asking that question. They're going, sure, who are you? What do you know about our area? And you've seen it happen in this video. She's asked directly, would you like these people on your doorstep? She freezes, because of course, these people are all promoting this, tolerance and open borders. But when it comes to them, no, not for them. Rules for thee, not for me. And everything these people do and say is hypocritical. These people wouldn't be accepting the hordes of individuals onto their areas. You can be betting your bottom dollar that. None of these people in politics, by the way, for all the grandiose things they like to say in the likes of the Dáil and other little places for little snippets that look like good little PR things, none of them have taken anybody in. Certainly not taking anybody in with a criminal record, who they all love. Engineers and doctors, astronauts we're bringing in here. Well, a lot of these people that are coming are convicted criminals elsewhere, or they're running from serious situations from where they are. They're not sending their best in these other places, because if they were, these places would be built up in their own countries. Instead, they're running over here to Treasure Island. And you've got people like this here in this video, and Gary Gannon in this video, defending these individuals and calling you wrong and saying that you are this and that and the other. It's scandalous stuff. I actually think that this image sums up this woman completely. Hand out, now, you let me talk, and you, little Pied Piper, you just sit down there because you are getting all of the other people agitated about what's going on, and I'm going to tell you what's what. Look at the scaldy face for her as well. Look at the jacket. I'm sure there'll be people in the comments there that'll be like, Ninja, that jacket is €100 plus, and whatever else she's wearing could be €100 plus. Like, this is where we're at right now. You've got people that are in that video that are struggling to make ends meet, that are looking at their children and their grandchildren unable to purchase a home. And people like this are sauntering down in whatever they're wearing and telling you this is what's happening. No. You are the public representative. You are being told what to do. It's not the other way around. You see, because there's way more people in town than there is of you. And if even 10 people decided that they don't want this going in their area, that is more than enough to follow through with their wishes. Instead of telling them, no, this is what they can do, this is what we're looking to do. No. You've been told no. And for these people in politics, everything about these people is all about consent. Consent this, consent that. What about this, what about that? But when it comes to you, Paddy, forget about it. You're being told what to do, and that's it. These people in politics here in this country right now are worse than Oliver Cromwell. They're absolutely worse than Oliver Cromwell. Like, at least you knew with that guy what he was about. These sellout, snaky little traitors are doing this, and then at the same time telling you, shut up, don't be talking about this, I don't want to know. It's a scandal. It's an outrage, quite frankly. And people have now looked at the situation and said, no, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Because guess what's going to happen? And people don't understand this, but they're starting to begin to understand this, that within a generation, this country is being wiped out. Now, when one group is being targeted, like the Irish is being targeted, they like to say that that's a word beginning with G. And I have to tend to agree to that. Because the Irish are being targeted in their own country. Constantly and consistently. Look at how people have been treated when they've gone on marches and protests and told these politicians, we don't want these unvetted individuals in our areas. Because here's what happens from here on out. And I'm just explaining cause and effect. People are looking at the illegal immigration racket that's going on right now and they're saying, I'm not having this. Soon they're going to turn their attention to the legal immigration, because that's just as much of a problem, if not a bigger problem, than the illegal immigration. The illegal immigration makes up for a fraction of the amount of people that have come to this country. Don't believe me? Walk around the inner city. Stand there for 5-10 minutes, listen around, see what you see. There's tourists that are coming to this country now that are constantly remarking on how this isn't Ireland. They're calling it Dublinistan. They're like, what's going on here? What's happening? Where are the Irish? And at the same time, you were being told by people like this and Gary Gannon that someone that takes in Irish air into their lungs and breathes out is suddenly now just as Irish as you are. Someone that has a leather-bound passport of paper, which is all it is as Irish as you are. Meanwhile, at the same time, they're telling you that white people in South Africa aren't South Africans. They're not natives. Quite the conundrum we have now here, isn't it? So we'll jump in here to this post. This is from Real News Air. Real News Air does great work here on Twitter, posting out these types of videos and sharing information. The locals close to the Royalton House iPass Centre have destroyed another stock dams. This time it's Marie Sherlock TD. Now I'm sure you'll probably edit that because this is a Labour TD. But even saying that, this Marie Sherlock is a Labour TD. Why is she hanging around with a stock dams TD? Does that not just say to you everything you need to know? Everybody within the Dáil, bar maybe probably one or two people I would say, and even at that, that's a stretch, are all in the same boat. They're all together, they're all voting for the same things. They head on to the Dáil bar afterwards. It's all theatrics that you see in front of the cameras. Sinn Féin are just as much supporters of this nonsense as anybody else. And if you don't believe me, look at the fact that they had themselves in Paul Donnelly and his wife Angela Donnelly in a counter-protest to Irish people calling Irish people racist. Sinn Féin stands against racism. Oh, but it's Brits out, everybody else in, is it? Now, that's just an example. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are also in this together. Pretend like they're opposition, but they've been together. Labour are the same. The Green Party are the same. The Soc Dems are the same. You name it, they're the same. The only way to fix this country is having nationalist candidates running the country. And to me, as I said, and just goes back to what I've been saying earlier on, and it just echoes it, how in November did not one nationalist candidate get elected? It's starting to look a little bit more dodgy now, isn't it? It's starting to look a little bit more strange. Sticky tape on doors, 500,000 people that they don't know what sort of status they were in, and now you've no nationalist candidate in the Dáil speaking about what's happening. You've got a number of councillors who are doing an excellent job highlighting this when they can, but at the national level, in terms of TDs and Dáil members, no nationalists. Yet you're seeing marches everywhere. Carrickmacross, Donegal, Dublin, and various other parts of the country. And there will be more. Because here's the thing, guys, and I'm just going to say this, and you might like it and you might not, and I don't really care whether people like this or not. But Dublin has been dealing with this for a very long time. And this is the tether's end now with Dublin. And Dublin's had enough. We've understood that this is a capital city, that it is a tourist attraction, and we've understood the assignment when it comes to those things. Have we loved it? Not really. But businesses do. But that is what it is. However, when it comes to the immigration situation, we've been dealing with this for a very long time. And I've said this, and I said this years ago, that it is knocking at our doors now. When we were looking at 6 figures for the house here in this county, it's coming to you next. And lo and behold, it's happening in other counties. Dublin is ground zero for where it comes to this stuff. This is where it's coming from. And I'm honestly telling you this. If you're from another county and you think that pushing this all back to Dublin is going to work out, it's not going to work out. Mass deportations are absolutely the way to be going, and remigration is the unbelievable option that we have on the table right now to take. Removing ourselves from the EU is another critical measure, because we are being run by faceless, nameless, shady entities. We were oppressed by the British Empire for 800 plus years, and now we've turned the keys over to another group. It's stunning. It's stunning to see how these people behave. But what has happened now is people have wisened up to what's going on. And I'll say this again, because people around the county and country know this, and for people that are listening to this from other countries, or indeed the Irish diaspora that are around the world listening to this, you understand what the Dublin Mammy is all about. And you understand as well too what the inner city Dublin Mammy is all about. The inner city Dublin Mammy is not a tick. And what's happened here in this video is they've assumed that the Dublin City inner city Mammy is a tick. And so what has happened is they've been shown that the Dublin City inner city Mammy has said no. And she's not going to have her opinion changed, because these women are tough women, they're very respectable women, and they're women to be respected because they don't take any BS. That's just it. So these politicians, when it comes to their careers, are looking down the line as to what's going on, which is it's going to be very difficult to wrangle people into believing that these people retain seats in the next election, whenever that may be. I foresee a number of resignations potentially. Maybe that might happen, but I think greed will consume these people, and has consumed these people for a very long time, that they'll sit in their seats and where they are. They'll take this sort of stuff for however long it's going to be and try and fill their pockets as much as they can before the next election rolls around. That's what I'm given as a bit of a perspective idea as to what can happen. They'll sit there for as long as they can, or they'll resign and be out the gap. Look at the number of politicians that have left their positions and they go off down to other high paying jobs elsewhere. And they're not dealing with the stuff now. They're leaving it to these people like this. And then you get the classic outline. But we weren't in government. What about Eamon Gilmore? Do you remember when Eamon Gilmore, and I'm talking about the Labour Party here now because it's relevant. Remember when Eamon Gilmore gave it the big large one he did when he was in opposition? Eamon Gilmore, I know you remember this, was a fantastic opposition member, said all the right things. As soon as he got in though, just became part of the gang. So people have had enough, and as a result, they've remembered those types of instances. And what's happened now with people, and through social media, through the internet, I'm absolutely sure that these people in politics hate the internet. They hate social media, and that's why you keep seeing them trying to clamp down on these types of things. And that's why you see them furiously trying to get hate speech into this country so that they can take videos like these down and stop them from getting around. It's because it's breaking the narrative. You know, a generation ago even, people would have looked at the situation and said, yeah, it's not good, but you know, what can you do? Things have changed. Things have changed, and it's not going back. So these politicians are fearful of that. You can see the fear emanating from them, and I think that that is long overdue, because, and when I say that, I mean for their positions of where they are and that they hold public office. They should not be holding public office. But they are now becoming fearful because they understand that the people have woken up, and it is a very difficult thing to put people back to sleep. What happens is people start talking, they gather together, the momentum grows, and this side is only getting bigger. It's not getting smaller. And nothing they have said or done has deterred anyone. They've told people they're racist. They've told people that they're nasty individuals. They've told them that they're far right. They've told them that they're this, that and the other. People don't care about the labels anymore because they see what's in front of their faces. They don't care. And they're right not to care, because why would you be taking any sort of opinion of these people in politics that are trying to morally grandstand whilst they do all of the other shady things and hang around with shady people and are involved in shady dealings? People are looking at it and they're like, nah, not dealing with that anymore. No interest. And they're right not to. So the cycle has been broken. It's very difficult for them to do anything now with regards to pulling the wool over people's eyes, because people do in fact see what they've done and what they continue to do and what they are absolutely telling you here that they are going to keep doing. Like, these people at no point in time are saying, we're hearing you, we're going to stop this now, we're going to make sure that these people are out. They're still catering to a non-existent voter base that is out there. People with multicoloured hair and 15 different pronouns. That voter base doesn't exist in this country. It just doesn't. Not at the numbers that these people think that it is. This is an American phenomenon that's transported its way, that's transferred its way over here to this country, and people just don't buy into it. It's a very small minority, but this is the majority. The majority is people waking up to what's happened and calling it out for what it is. And you're going to continue to see videos like this. I think that's a good thing. Shout out to each and every person that is questioning these politicians and that's asking them the right things, and certainly putting them under pressure, because that's what should be happening. These people shouldn't be getting away with what they're doing, because it's like this. It's already at chronic levels of silliness in this country, and chronic levels of this country falling away from what it is. But within a generation, guys, I'm honestly not making a joke about this, the replacement of the Irish people is on. This is what's going on. It's a heavy burden to take, and it's a heavy thing to talk about, but this is what we're witnessing right now. So it's either stand up now, be counted, be making these politicians answer questions, because the media will fail to do that. The media have rowed in with these people and called you a racist and a far right individual, an extremist. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be sit down, lie down, take the name calling, or say to these people, no, I'm not having you? Get these people out of their positions, vote in nationalists, patriots, people that love this country, and turn this country around. It's very simple. This is very doable. And there's people out there that will doom on this and they will black pill. But I'm here to say it's always very hopeful. And you can just send them on just as easily and just as quickly as they've been sent in. Simple as that. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.